Hello, this is All Around Mine. I'm Ariel Free.
And I'm George Lawton. And you can, of course, listen to us on your favourite podcasting platform. But if you fancy coming on the home tours with us, then you can catch up on all of the episodes so far on Primark's YouTube channel.
You can indeed. We are visual now. And today's guest could be described as the British equivalent of Joan Rivers. He's rocked the red carpet at the Brits. He's kept his 500k plus followers on YouTube entertained across the years with fashion, trips away, and of course, spilling the tea.
It's YouTuber and presenter Lewys Ball. Lewys,
Yay!
are you all right if we go around yours?
I'm more than happy.
Then let's go.
As you enter my flat, I have my bedroom, or as I like to call it, my walk-in wardrobe. For context, I live in a one-bedroom flat, so this is probably going to be over quicker than I can eat a packet of Wotsits. But, you know, you're probably going to get lost in a mansion, so try and keep up. This is my bed, the place of slumber, the place of beauty sleep. These prints have not been straight since the year of 2020, and every single time someone says something, I'm like, I know I'm going to do it this week. Been 2 years, Lewis. Been 2 years. I have a fake plant. I am starting to graduate to real plants, but it's just a lot of responsibility all at once. You know, I need to ease my way in. Yeah, that's pretty much it in here. I also have a desk, which one thing you will find out about me very quickly is I am a hoarder. Like, I still have a bottle of TCP there for when I had an infected hickey. That was too much information. You didn't need to know why I had it. But will I ever get rid of that bottle of TCP? No. Because I've fostered that TCP into my home now. We have an emotional connection. It can never leave. Anyway, as you leave my bedroom, I have a nice hallway, which I like to pretend is RuPaul Drag Race's main stage. I also have a light-up name and sign, whatever you call it. I was going to say this was a gift. I would never get this myself. I'm not a narcissist. I definitely would have. Like, let's not lie here. Have a shoe rack, which I don't know why I have so many shoes when I only have one left and one right foot. And most times when I'm getting ready, I'm running late, and I just put on the first pair that I can see. Then I have a bathroom. We have a shower and a toilet, and that's pretty much it in here. They both fit the job description. They both do what they need to do, and that's the only time I spend in here. And then as you leave my bathroom, I have my living room. This is a mirror here, and it says The Best of Razzle. Razzle is a magazine. I thought it was like, you know, Razzle sounds like Razzle Dazzle, Showbiz. Nope, it's a very naughty magazine, but, you know, it doesn't matter. Have a plant. This one is actually real. It doesn't have a name, because if I give it a name and it ends up dying, I'm going to feel too guilty. But the bottom leaf is dead, but the rest is still going good. I think that's quite strong for me. This station here is obviously for my binge-watching activities. I have this art. Like, I also have a Michelin Man. Some people may call it tat. I call it uniqueness, quirks. It makes me me. I have my living sort of, what is this even called? Coffee table! Speaking of which, I even have a coffee on it. Oh my God, what am I like? I'm so on brand. This sometimes set up with the magazine makes me feel like I'm at a dentist waiting room. I also have never opened any of these magazines because I don't have the brain cells enough to go read something from cover to cover. Jesus. I haven't done that since English Literature A-level, which I got a C in. So take as that as you will. I have a balcony, and I'm going to be completely honest, the only purpose I use that for is golden hour selfies. And then we come round and I have my kitchen, which again, I'm going to be completely honest, is only here for interior decor purposes and not functionality. The only time it's ever being in function is when I'm using the microwave to heat up a slice of pizza, which I ordered drunk the night before. Speaking of which, there is also a bar there, but that is my flat.
Lewys Ball, welcome to All Around Mine.
Thank you very much for having me.
I mean, I feel like I've just been through the biggest whirlwind ever. I've watched an entire episode of your life in like 2 minutes.
Listening to that, I'm like, breathe. It was like I was competing in the Olympics 800 meters trying to finish my sentences.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? Often our guests, when they do their home tours, get out of breath. You did not get out of breath. You didn't even stop for a breath.
I think there was the most amount of
That was
content.
like an Olympic skill.
I know. And I got some stamina on me, clearly.
Well, you are very much living the London life. Mm-hmm. You were formerly in Scotland, via England. Now you live in London. Do you love living in London?
I love living in London so much. I always say that I don't think I can ever move out of London now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to live in London for the rest of my life.
How long have you lived in that flat?
3 years. It will be 3 years next month.
Cool.
Is there anything that you miss about home, though? Do you ever wish that you could just sort of head back quickly for maybe a bite to eat or something?
That is the only thing I miss. Like, bless my mother, she deserves like a shout out at the Royal Variety Show or something for what she's put up with me. But she's like there hand and foot, like washing, meals, all that stuff. I also like my fridge contents are usually at the max capacity, like a 12-pack of Diet Coke. So like I enjoy the full fridge at home. That's very nice. But other than that, I guess there's fresher air in Scotland.
I do just want to go back on the kitchen, though, because I was a little bit worried about this. How do you actually sustain yourself?
There are some magical applications,
right?
Which, I don't know if you've heard of them, they bring food to your door.
For breakfast, lunch and dinner, all three?
Well, I sometimes like an oven pizza, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or like a bagel. That's about the extent of my culinary
Do you
cuisine.
toast
Okay.
the bagel?
Yes, I can do that. Just about. Sometimes it comes out burnt. But
As someone who likes to use applications for their food, what is your record in a day, do you reckon?
if I'm hungover, I can probably rack up like 4 or 5. But that's only like very specific different needs. Like, I'm a drinks person. Like, I like lots of different drinks. Like, when I go out to eat, I like 3 different drinks. So, like, I want like a smoothie from one place, like a coffee. But I have gotten a lot better. I think, like, one time I counted and it was like 30 in a month, which wasn't, like, it was one every day. But I'm way less, like, ordery now. I like to go on walks and get like sandwiches. Support the local businesses.
You basically just cut out the moped.
It's great for the environment.
You are doing your part for the environment. Love it.
I want to go back to the home tour though, because you started in your bedroom, which looked incredible. If you just sort of squint a little bit and don't notice the things on the wall, what was the big colourful thing on your bed?
So it's actually, I can never pronounce it, but it's it's like a Japanese like flower. And I just ordered it thinking actually it was going to be like a small little cushion that I could put like in the middle of my bed. Yeah. Came and it was about the size of like a 9-year-old child. I was like, right, check. There was no return policy. I was like,
oh no.
I don't even think I could sell this, like resell it, because how am I going to get that to the post office? Like bundle it up. So I was just like, it's placed on my bed like a blanket.
It gives a nice pop of colour though.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very clinical in there. So
do you give it a little cuddle at night?
No, it's so heavy. It's like a weighted blanket. You know what? It's literally a weighted blanket. And I am not someone who likes pillows and duvets and all that on a bed. I like to sleep with just a sheet and like 1 pillow or 2 pillows.
Do you, because, I mean, talking about sizing, when I heard that you had a neon light of your name, I did not expect it to take up the entire wall. It's huge. So did you order that thinking it's going to be that big, or did you think it was going to be a little bit smaller?
To confirm, it was a gift.
I was actually, I thought you were
a
being
gift.
sarcastic when you said that. No, okay.
But it was humiliating because I had to get someone to come in and like set it up. And they were like, so what is looking for Lewis? Like, what is this? And I was like, I was just like, me? And he like looked at me and he was like, right. And I was like, yeah. I was like acting like it was Beyonce like on the wall. I was like, no, just me.
Now you've got to own it. I mean, you've got it at the start of your vlogs, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Accompanied with yodeling?
Yep.
Yep.
One of my many talented
Okay,
skills.
what's that all about?
I don't know how I first discovered I could yodel.
I don't know. How does one find out they can yodel?
I think I was watching something and someone was yodeling and I like tried to do it and I was like, oh, this is like a god, like this was like something that you could get given at birth. Like I didn't learn it. It was a birth skill.
I think what Ariel was getting at there as well is whether you could give us a quick demonstration.
Okay, I can try. I'm probably going to be a bit rusty. I've not...
You should join in, George.
No, it's all
Can you
right.
yodel?
No, I can't yodel.
He's gonna you give us a demonstration,
Okay.
we'll get George to join
Brilliant,
in.
thanks, great.
Yodelay, 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 ooh, yodelay, 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 ooh.
That's actually good though. That's really good.
Did you watch Sound of Music as a kid?
No, but we did. We went on a holiday to Switzerland, family holiday to Switzerland, and we brought back a hamster, which you like press its paw and it moves and yodels.
Right.
And I think it was like a core memory when I was like 8 years old and it just got ingrained through like growing up into my skull. And that's now how I can do it.
So you're semi-parrot
So
and you
come
just
on,
sort
then.
of... Okay, all right. Can you do it once more just so I can get the... Okay.
Yodelay, 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 ooh, yodelay, 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 ooh.
Okay, I'm going to do it, but
Can
you're
you
then
go?
going to do it afterwards.
No.
Yeah.
I want to watch you go.
Okay. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
And after that demonstration, I'm definitely not doing it.
I can't believe you just
That
done that
wasn't
to me.
awful.
I love it.
I thought it was
Well,
quite
look,
good. To be honest with you, I don't know what you're going on about.
George just mentioned there, you often start your YouTube videos with your light and your yodeling. You have a huge community on there, and also you have a lot of fellow YouTubers who you often go out with and they're friends. What's like the perfect night out for you with your fellow YouTubers? Do they come over to yours? Are you hosting them?
I don't host. Hosted like 2 or 3 times in my life. And the reason why I don't is because I have to load a dishwasher the next morning from everyone's glasses. It's not
Think of that.
It's too much. That's
You should have to wash the dishes.
so I'll often load myself onto other people's, like, what are you doing before, babe? Like, oh, like that's on the way. Shall I just come to yours first? I do love a big, like, before. That's the best part. So like I like to go, like, get ready, like have a big, and then I do like a dinner before, but you have to be very specific with the type of food that you're eating, because if you eat a big meal, then it all sits there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like stuck in the mud for the entire night.
Yeah.
So like a sushi maybe,
Okay.
like bite
Alright.
to eat. And then a little boogie.
So who are you going with for this sushi and boogie? Who are your YouTube friends?
It depends on the night of the week. It depends on the place we're going. I feel like
If you want to go dancing, who would you go with?
if I wanted to go dancing, I'd probably go with my friend Flossie.
Okay.
She is always up for like a late night, like, or
Club
she's
situation.
not a casual like, oh, let's just go for a little espresso martini. She's like, I'm gonna be downing Jaeger bombs till 4 a.m.
Right.
So if I need to let off some steam, if something's
the one.
Flossie's the girl. But if I want like maybe a bit more of a classy espresso martini, I don't like olives, but the olives would be on the table. I'd go probably with my friend Olivia.
Okay.
And Neill. It's a very just different.
Different vibes, depending on how you're feeling.
So I know you don't host, but if you were to host in your kitchen, in your house, you could choose any 3 dinner guests to come over. Who would it be, and what takeaway would you serve?
Okay.
Now, I'm worried this is just going to be a cleaner, a mixologist, and a chef, to be honest with you.
We don't inspire me.
Yeah, I know.
Here we
Scrap my answers. That is way better. That sounds like my perfect night. No, I would probably go for Rihanna.
Amazing.
Oh.
Obvious
Excellent choice.
But I've just been so obsessed with her my entire life. I saw her at V-Fest in 2016, but me and my friends were at the very, very back. And I was like, this is not the Rihanna experience I want. But my friends didn't want to, like, we were like 16 at the time, and we were like, we can't split up. It's our first festival. So my friend was holding my raincoat by the hood. She went to talk to a boy, and as she was talking to the boy, I crawled out the raincoat and crawled like on my hands and knees to the front of the stage. She turned around, she was just holding a raincoat with no body in. She was like, what? Didn't find until 3 a.m., but I did get to front row of Rihanna. So
Right.
it was all
It
worth
was
it.
worth it.
So yeah, number 1 would be Rihanna. Number 2 would be Alison Hammond.
Living
Amazing.
legend.
Feel like she'd bring all the jokes.
Do you think Rihanna would get along with Alison Hammond?
I think they'd get on like a
100%.
house on fire.
Yeah.
I think I'd be a third wheel in that
I
situation.
don't think there's anyone who couldn't get on with Alison Hammond. Like that's why we like she. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Alison Hammond.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Number 3 would be, you know what? I would say Megan Thee Stallion.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
And what sort of night out is this going to end up being? Is
No,
it
this
going to
is
be
a dinner-
the?
Oh, this is a dinner
I know, but
party.
it's going to go on to a night out, right?
I'm very
is it going to
civilised.
be? Is it going to be an Olive sort of affair, or is it going
No,
to be
no.
a down in the Jaegers sort of?
I think it would start off with a sushi. I like a sushi. I feel like it's classy, but also it's not like, you know when food's like classy and bougie and you have to pretend to like it and it actually tastes like dog's vomit? Like sushi's still like classy but enjoyable.
Okay.
So true though.
And then I feel like, you know those bars which is like a bar-y club but not quite a full club, but like you can sit and drink and
Yeah.
it's got loud music. One of those nights. Because as much as I would love to go out dancing, if this is my one time with like these 3 people, I want to chat.
Yeah.
I want to get like life stories out of them. I don't want to waste it bopping away to top 40 on a
But you-
sticky dance floor.
You do have a drinks trolley. Would you at least
Yes.
make a cocktail for everyone before you went out?
I could do like a vodka lemonade.
Okay. Not a cocktail.
It depends. It's
Garnishing there it could be.
An umbrella on top.
flour.
Stripey like paper straw. Great.
It sounds like you've got the London life sorted, to be honest with you.
Some may say, but that's a very specific version of a London life, I think.
Yeah.
And
Do you enjoy living on your own?
this is something that I've actually been thinking of recently. So I have always lived on my own. I've never lived with anyone else. And as of recently, I'm like, I feel like I've missed out on it. Like, I feel like a lot of all my other friends now have just stopped living with other friends
Right.
and have just moved in and living on their own. They're like, I love it. Like, I would never go back to living with a friend now. And I'm like, I never had that. Like, I've never,
Yeah.
like, when I'm like 40, I can never be like, oh my God, I lived with this person and we had like all this fun, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've never like come back from like a date and like my friend's been waiting, like, oh my God, how'd it go? Or like when you've both been in and like cooked, it's always just, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I had that experience, but I do like living on my own. I feel like it's one of those things which I'm like, oh, I wish I could do it. And then a week into it, I'd be like, get me out of here.
Someone hasn't cleaned the dishes, and then you're like, absolutely not. Get me out.
People like, Lewis hasn't cleaned the dishes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be you getting annoyed at other people. It'd probably be the other way around. So when you started off making your YouTube videos, what was the sort of vibe that you were going for? Did you want to be the new Justin Bieber, or was it all about the makeup looks?
So I originally started out when I was 13 years old, and I was obsessed with Zoella. Mm-hmm. But it was like at the time of life where the girls would do like my May favorites, and they'd do like talk through but I didn't wear makeup at the time, and I was also 13 years old and didn't like have any knowledge. So I'd go into my mum's cupboards and pick out like her shower gels and moisturizers and be like, I love this guy. It's like, never touched it in my life, never used it. Just like I wanted to be like them. And then I sort of grew up a bit more, and I started like wearing makeup, and I thought that I had to be very reserved. So I would be like, this is how you apply eyeliner. And then it would be like 30 seconds of copyright-free like music going like, as I'm like, and then I look back on it and I was like, this is blooming boring. I was like, no one wants to watch this. So then I started being a bit more me. And I did go, funny you should mention Justin Bieber, I don't know if you were setting me up, but I did go through a stage, my singer stage. I thought I was going to be...
On your YouTube channel?
When I was like 15 years old, I was like, this is my big break. I was like...
Now, I came across something on TikTok the other day, which got a nice little cameo of you doing a little tune.
I don't understand how this has happened. So these were like videos from when I was like 15 years old. And a lot of people go back and like private all their old stuff. I'm just like, I can't be bothered. There's like hundreds and hundreds of videos. Like, I think it's quite funny how it's all out there. Until the time where it came 5 years after I uploaded a god-awful, like, cat-scratching, like, cover of Titanium. And YouTube just randomly decided 5 years later to recommend it to everyone. Mm-hmm. It got, like, 100K views in, like, a couple weeks, like, 5 years after it was posted. People were, like, clipping it and putting it on TikTok. And I was like...
This is your moment.
I was like,
this is time to shine.
Like, this is not what I was thinking. Like, when I was 15 years old, I was thinking like a record company was going to find me, not like people taking the mick out of me.
It's good though. It's good. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Good's a word that we could. It's something. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
It's a moment.
It's nice for people to see your evolution.
I was certainly making a noise.
What I loved about hearing all of that was from when you started to where you are now has been your journey. Like you said, you know, you did the skincare, and then you went into the makeup. And I remember the first time seeing you was when you were doing you, like being you with your makeup and like the character the wonderful character that you have. I never knew what came before. I didn't know about the singing, and then now we know. And that's so, because you've been doing this for a long time and you do have like a huge amount of energy constantly. Like, I think that's why you're so engaging. Do you ever have those moments where you just like completely shut off or switch off? Do you have social media breaks or?
Oh my God. I don't have social media breaks as such, which is actually something that like, it's probably worrying. I just like don't want to switch off. I get like a big like, it's almost FOMO, but it's more like, what if something really serious has happened? Like, it would stress me out more not being on social media than being on it. So I don't like do that as such, but I think also as of recently, I've like, don't post as much as like what I'm doing day to day. And like, we like used to, when we were like younger, I look back and I'm like just stop speaking. Like, I just used to like blab about everything and anyone, and I would just gob off like, and I was just like, I'd constantly be on like live stream with my friends, and we'd just like be talking, and I just look back and I'm like, shush, shut your mouth. So I definitely think that as I've gotten older, I've like stripped back a bit more of that, which probably is like annoying to a lot of people, but it just gets to a point where it's just like, I'm just like airing, not even just mine, everyone's dirty laundry, and we all were doing it. So I think I was like stepped back a bit from that, but yeah, I like a lot of times, like, especially because I live on my own, when I get back after doing something, I just like sit and I'm just like, and just watch like a TV show or something.
What are you watching at the moment?
Ooh, I've just finished Heartstopper.
Everyone is talking about this.
I've still not seen it yet.
I only heard about it this morning, and then everyone's like, it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which has only ever happened to a few series and TV shows. And like, is it great?
Brilliant. I will say, but because it's so good because it's about like a cheesy sort of like LGBT like romance like TV show, which is very, very rare. Like usually like shows around like sort of the LGBTQ plus community are very hard hitting and like serious. So it's so nice to have a cheesy love story. But did end and it was like, that didn't quite happen to me. I was like, what? Hang on a minute. I was like, that was not my 15-year-old experience. I remember putting on Maybelline makeup and being ignored for 365 days by the entire school year. Not that. But it's so nice. Like, it's actually so, and it's done so well. Everyone's so good.
I feel like it's been like there's like a social commentary that everyone's saying like, that this has been needed for a long time.
100%.
I need to dive into that.
Yeah. What else? I've just started The Ultimatum.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
No.
So it's a Netflix show, and basically couples go on because one of them's given the other one an ultimatum about marriage. So, like, for example, a woman will be like, I need him to marry me, but he says he's not ready. Or I want to marry him and have kids, but he doesn't want to have kids, or something like that. So they all go on and they all have to like date each other. And at the end of the show, they have to decide like the ultimatum. Like they either have to propose after dating all these other people or be like, actually dating all these other people has made me realize this marriage isn't for me. It is crazy. It like is mind-boggling.
I don't know if I'd like that.
No, that sounds a bit intense.
Would you do that?
It's great.
No,
It's the
absolutely not.
drama, Mick. I love it.
See, but as a viewer, like, would you ever do something like that though? Or like eating with my ex? Or...
Not when it comes to relationships.
No.
That's my property.
And on relationships, what is your status at the moment?
I'm currently taken off the
Fab.
market, unfortunately. But after 22 years, about bloody time.
How are you finding like, 'cause you're saying obviously you're like living, you like enjoyed living on your own. Like, do you have someone in your space now then quite a lot? And...
Yeah, quite a bit. But we're so similar.
Are you?
So
Great.
it's like it's like a friend, like very like best friend energy as well as
Yeah.
like it's not just like eye twitching. Like, can you move to the other side of the sofa, please?
I'll give it time. It'll come.
You have been posting for like over 10 years now, and we talked about the evolution of your like YouTube channel. How consistent are you now with your like your content and what you're creating? How far ahead are you thinking before you actually get to making the video and putting it up?
Oh, Ariel, babe, I'm the most disorganized person ever meet. I'm like, oh, not uploaded in 2 weeks, but hello, everyone. The only thing I do plans is when I do like reacting to award show outfits or Met
Yeah.
Gala or Coachella, because obviously like they're so topical, like you need to kind of get it out the day before. So I need to like bear in mind when those are coming.
Right. Mhm.
But in terms of like everything else, which is, I think is why I've still enjoy doing it to this day, because I don't treat it very pressure based. Like I'm not like every single Sunday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I need to do something, and every single day I need to post on Instagram. I sort of treat social media how like everyone else does, just like
Yeah.
post when you got a picture, chat when you want to chat, like, which I think is why, and all my friends sort of treat it the same, which is why I think we all still like do it, and like, because that's still why it doesn't really feel like a job, because it's still just
Yeah.
like, and I feel like the moment where I would be like, have to do it every Sunday, and then it's like, I don't want to do it, but I'm forcing myself to do it, and then it's not fun anymore, and then it's just like...
That is a point, because a lot of like YouTubers have a specific time and date that they post on, and they get their videos out, which I suppose is great for if someone wants to watch that as like almost like a TV show. I know that's going to happen every night on like a Sunday, but you do put yourself under pressure to constantly have that weekly or daily or whatever. I think that's such a good way to like do it. Like you're saying, just do it when you've got something that you want to like shout about or like react to or whatnot.
And most of the times it's like I still upload at least once every 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
it's still like something's going on in my life that or in the world that I want to talk about like every once in like 2 weeks. But I just think it just puts like way less pressure on it. It makes it way more enjoyable. And I also think it comes across more enjoyable as well.
One thing we do adore about you is how opinionated you are. And always, forever. Has there ever been any moments where you've gone, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that?
Like more than you would actually think. Like I have been in many instances where I've met someone and they were like, oh yeah, I've seen you say this about me, or I've seen you say that about my outfit. And I'm like,
no.
Or I've had moments where, so I speak a lot about like TV shows, and I've been on nights out and I've met like a group of friends, and a Love Islander will be in that group and they'll be like, oh, can I drink tonight, or will you be tweeting about me? And I'm like, and like I actually got forward to do an interview with a very, very, very famous celebrity.
Who?
Well, I don't know, I'm not gonna say. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, I can't believe this. Literally like,
You've got to say who it is.
like 12 hours before they like pulled it, and they were like, you can't do this. Like, we've just done a back check. And I had said that her dress at a Met Gala one year was slightly boring. I said she looked absolutely stunning. Like, she looked gorgeous. Her hair and makeup was incredible. But, like, I wish she did a bit more with the dress. Like, it's a bit boring. And they were like, we're not doing this anymore.
That's
We've
so
scrapped it.
inoffensive.
And also, I've watched your content. That is nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they were at the Met Ball, were they a singer or an actress?
Singer, okay.
But like in that, were you quite upset by that situation that you didn't have the opportunity, but then also just went, oh, fine? Because I feel like that's a bit sensitive.
Yeah, I was kind of a bit like, oh, but then I was just like, whatever.
Imagine what that interview would have been like. Give us a clue.
She was on Disney Channel.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Viva Victoria, Selena Gomez. No. No, I'm not gonna say fine.
But do you find yourself getting worried about being cancelled online? Because we seem to see a different person being cancelled for a different reason every other week. Is there something that sort of runs through you every time you're making content, a bit of a filter to check what you're doing?
Like, obviously, like, subconsciously, but I also feel like I would like to think I am inherently like a good person. Like, I sometimes may like say like an outfit's not great, but I would like to think like I would never come for someone's like looks or character or anything like that. Like, it's always like, and also I would like to hope that people sort of take it in jest rather than like, so I feel like, because I know that I do like genuinely have a good heart, like the most that I might say is that that's a god awful, hideous pair of boots.
Yeah. You never make it personal, do you?
No,
you never
try not
actually
to.
You never make it about that person. You make it about the situation and whatnot. And I think that's why it's lasted so well. And like you say, you have generally have a lovely nature.
And I just think you're so authentic. Like, it comes across on all of the content that you do that you really care about others as well.
Thanks,
we
guys.
are, however, going to put you on the spot.
Okay, let's go.
Because we're going to ask for your savage opinions now.
Right.
We're going to do a game called Rate or Hate. We're going to give you a lineup of interior trends, and we're going to ask you whether you rate it or hate it. Fancy that?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's on the iPad.
So trend number 1 is all white interiors. I mean, this is taking all white to a new level. This is sort of clinical insane asylum sort of level.
Very Kardashian, very Kylie and Kim.
Hasn't she got like an entire white house or something?
Kim's house is crazy. It's literally all like, it's like a museum. Like, it's all white. It's all like sculptures, but all white sculptures. Like, the bed's like an all white, like it's like so crazy. Like, I've never seen a house like it.
That stresses me out, because what happens if you like spill a cup of coffee?
And she's got a lot of kids as well.
Yeah.
Kids are messy. Like, as we've discussed, like, they've got a lot of in things about them, but one of them is messy.
And would you ever go for this look? Do you rate it or hate it?
I think a few years ago I would have loved it. But now I just I want a bit more a bit more pizzazz.
Okay.
So I think I would hate it.
Okay.
Next one.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's sort of a very elaborate printed wallpaper vibe. No?
Well, I think I just get like traumatic flashbacks to when I lived at home. My mum loves a good statement wallpaper.
Does she?
She loves a good... I hope she's not listening to this, because I loved it at home, Mum, just not for me. Like, she's something about... But it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And I also just... It's just... I'm quite lost for words, and that's a very rare occasion for me. It's a lot. I don't think I'd have it in my home, but I will say it does give character to a home.
Yeah.
It would be tricky waking up in that room with a hangover, I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
But if it's just the one room, everything else is white, maybe?
Maybe. Or maybe like one statement
wall.
wall.
Yeah. Okay. Rate or hate?
I'm going to go hate, but hate's quite a strong... I hate, but like...
You're not averse to seeing a good example on Pinterest?
Yes. If someone can come with me for the exact shade of like colour and the exact style of things, I might be a rate.
Okay. All right. We'll move on.
Rate or hate?
Baby.
Mirrored chest of drawers and matching bedside tables.
Now, I don't think I have a lot of ground to stand on when it comes to interior design. As we've seen in my flat tour, it's not the like most jaw-dropping, astounding, best thing you've ever seen in your life. However, the one thing I think I can have an opinion on are these no offense if anyone has them, the god-awful mirrored. I just get stressed as well, because I'm like, you drop a foundation, you like hit something, you knock something, that's 7 years bad luck, babe. And if it's covered all over your house, you're racking up about a lifetime of bad luck. But
I never thought of that.
That's true.
I just thought like grubby. Every time you like pull it
Fingerprints.
dry, you're gonna have to get like a little wipe and like clean around it.
But then does it maybe make the room feel bigger? Because it almost gives an illusion that it's not there, sort of a bit semi-invisible.
For me, it's just like a lot of admin to constantly keep it like steam and the smashing of the glass. That's it. That would just prime me out.
also, I'm vain enough as it is. I don't need added surfaces to like waste time looking at myself in.
Every time you pull it down, I was looking today.
Rate or hate?
I think it's going to have to be a hate.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I think I know what the answer to this one might be. Some beautiful neon.
I enjoy it in taste.
Okay.
Like, this is what I was about to say. I don't think mine is the most tasteful, but I think it works for me, if that makes sense. I've seen really nice, like, abstract squiggly wigglies, or like, I've seen like big yellow smiley faces. When it comes to like sayings, I just find sayings as a whole, like sayings on print, sayings are has to be nail on the head, or it's very easy to miss the mark on a saying.
Okay, if you had to have a saying in massive neon in your living room, what's it going to say? And it has to be on all the time.
I feel triggered because I've got one in my wall. It's like one of my favourite things. I'm like,
oh no, wait,
yeah, it's like my favourite dance lyrics from a tune. So like,
oh, that's
nice.
so different between like being like, namaste in bed.
Good. You can have that if you want.
No, mine would be, and I'm being 100% serious, live, laugh, love. And do you want to know if I've got the world's smallest tattoo? It's the tiniest L there, like right there. In fact, I got it next to a mole, and the mole is bigger than the L. And I like to tell people that I went to get live, laugh, love, but the L hurt too much that I just had to leave it at.
is that not the true story?
No, I got an L for Lewis. This is not going well with the neon sign.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to put you in the spot. Rate your hate neon signs.
I'm going to have to say rate because I got a massive one in my house. I can't say hate.
Yeah, great.
Well, that
Very
is
good.
you rating and hating. Thank you very much. You
No
completed it. I
problem.
think you won. I don't know if there was a prize. We'll give you a prize
you
anyway.
win.
Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
So, Lewis, we've loved hearing about all the different things in your home, your massive neon sign, your interesting heavy flower pillow thing. But we like to ask our guests for their single favourite object within their home. So what have you brought for us?
So this was inspired because as a child, I was quite a large and in charge baby. And I had I was like quite big, so like I would like roll over. Oh. So my parents would call me the Michelin baby. And when I moved in, my mum got me.
Incredible.
It's actually really heavy. I think it's supposed to be a doorstop. Like I was walking here like, I need to go to the gym this week. But I got a Michelin because when I was a child, my nickname was Michelin Baby.
That's amazing.
It was between this and a large Diamante gorilla, and I was like, this is going to be easier to navigate on it, like getting here.
So where do you keep the Michelin Man? And also I need to know where you keep the large Diamante gorilla as well.
The Michelin Man lives next to the TV.
Okay.
And the Diamante gorilla lives like next to my bedroom door, first thing you see when you walk in.
Ooh.
Amazing.
And I actually bought the Diamante gorilla as the very, 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 very first thing I bought when I bought my flat. Before a bed, before a sofa, before knives and forks, plates, cups. And my mum was like, Lewis, like, do you not want to? I'm like, Mum, I'm getting the Diamante gorilla.
Did you actively source the gorilla, or?
It was a moment of fate. I was shopping for, utensils and necessities, and the glimmer of the Diamante caught the corner of my eye, and I was like, and it was love at first sight.
Just back to the Michelin Man, sorry. Why does that exist? Who made that product? Why does anyone else have that in their home?
I would actually love to know. I feel like it was probably originally...
Is it a piggy bank?
Oh my
It's a
gosh!
money bank. It's got a little slot at the back.
It sits like that the whole time, so I've never seen that.
How long have you owned that for?
Like 3 years.
Like, I'm just going to say, as a money bank, it is a very awkward shape to get the coins out once you collect them inside, because it's just going to get caught in all the ridges, surely.
Well, you have to smash it.
Is it not got a thing on the bottom?
Oh yeah, it does have a screw.
Oh no, but like usually they have a little like...
No, because the old-fashioned ones don't have them. The old-fashioned ones, you put the coins in, and when you want all the coins, you have to smash it to open it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fun fact.
I love that you just discovered that as well on this very podcast. That is the content we want. Before you go as well, we want to ask, do you have any house rules? If I'm visiting, what are you going to say to me?
Ooh, you know what? I don't really. I'm quite a free, go with the flow. And I've got really, really amazing neighbours. I don't know how they put up with me. They have like a baby, and I don't know because I can hear them. from time to time. and I'm like, if I can hear that, you must hear when I have friends over.
Right.
I'm just like, and you've never complained. And I'm just like, and they're just about to move out because they've had a baby and they need like a bigger, because theirs is also a one bed.
Oh, that's the reason that they've told you that they're moving out, is it?
And I'm just like, please don't go. I'm terrified for who's going to come next.
Oh, wow.
No.
So I'm like, shh, like I'm like a librarian sometimes. But other than that, I'm fine. Well, I ask for shoes off just because like, I don't want to hear your shoes on my, like, it's just annoying, but not for like a cleanliness.
And we've had a lot of opinions about daytime clothes on the bed. What's your thoughts on that?
I didn't know this was a thing until very, very
Neither
recently.
did I. No.
But also I don't tend to sit on my bed. I think because I live on my own, I spend my whole time I only go to my bed to sleep.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't really have them on my bed anyway, but I wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But that also makes me scared that I'm a disgusting human being.
How often are you washing your sheets?
Once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. And are you washing them or are you getting someone on Deliveroo to do it for you?
I'd rather not answer that.
There are laundry apps.
I wash them myself, but I don't change my own bed. And that's the
Who do you get to do it?
I'm a very private person.
Okay, great.
Now, just before we let you go, we've got one more question, and we want to know what it is that home really means to you.
Home to me is a place where you can just do nothing and not feel guilty.